Oh, there we go. We are live. Okay then. How is everybody doing then? Very late in sending out the actual messages to everybody. But either way, we'll get it recorded anyway, and we'll go over it. Hi Fred, how are you doing? Okay, people coming on there now. I was a bit concerned about the I got this microphone closer to me, because there was people saying it was set up for 2:30 in the morning or something. I'm pretty sure I didn't do that. But hopefully everybody's on. So just make sure that give me a thumbs up or tell me in the chat then if you can hear it. Okay. Right. Hi, Dimebar. Can you hear me all right? Can everybody hear? Hello, Claire. Hello, XRP. Micton, Hallahan, and Fred. All good. All right. Just let me know if you can hear. Yeah, all good. You can hear. Hiya, D. All right. We'll just wait a couple of minutes just to see, get people on. Just remember, if you're coming on, hello there, Keith. If you're coming on from the Facebook, if you don't put your username in or something like that, then it only tells me Facebook user. Hiya, Barbara. Is it so? It was sunny today as well, actually. Sunny in Devon, but sunny up here in Northumberland as well. Free Flight, hello, how you doing? Good to see you. All right. Very, very good. Nosy Parker, how are you doing? Big Kid Truths. Oi. Great. Good to see everyone coming on. Oh, hope you've all had a good day. Hello, Chris. How you doing? All good. All right. So, I've been doing on the private member site, the PMA. We've been doing the weekly meetings on there. Hello, Ray. East Kilbride, huh? Excellent. Lovely. But I was down in Bolton last weekend doing a presentation down there. And then, just been really busy running backwards and forwards. So the Cornwall, lovely there, Ben. Lovely. Hiya, Noel. How you doing? So I haven't been on the live on the Friday, and I haven't really had that much time to do any videos, so I haven't really done massive amount either, to get up, and I've got so much to do. Hiya, Petri, how you doing? Did you get that other notice that I sent you, Petri? Did you get that one about the obligation? The Blackdown Hills, lovely. Awesome. So, but Petri, let me know. Yeah, Glasgow. I should get myself up to Glasgow, shouldn't I? I should go up there, do an event up there. I did one in Dundee. I think March, this year. Hello, Jay. That's a long time ago anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting up there, going up to Glasgow. I'm trying to think of the last time that I was there. Hiya, D. I think I took some fighters up. Must have been back in about 2000, I think, maybe. So what's that? 22 years ago. Wow. Hiya, Lindsay. It's a long time ago, isn't it? 22 years. Hiya, Ray. Yeah, so I've been up there a few times to fight myself in Glasgow. One of them was at the big posh hall. Trying to think what it's called. More credit. Hi, how are you doing? But yeah, it was good. Had a few good old scraps up there. One was it? Oh, God, I can't remember. Was it? It was a big town hall, really big, fancy looking place. But then the other one was in in a community centre. It was rough. It was in the middle of a council estate. That was a bit a bit interesting, to say the least. But yeah, it was good. We'll have to have a look at that. Get up to Glasgow and do an event up in Glasgow. Yeah, he's doing some busking now. That would be good. Yeah, very good. Just remember, if you're on Facebook, you're coming in, all right, that if you don't put your name in it, the it'll just say Facebook user. Oh, I can't think what it was. The Goebbels, I don't think so. I honestly can't remember though, you know. Hiya, I don't know how to spell that. Yoga Ellie. All right, cool. Good. So then, what we're going to crack on with, what we're going to start with today. Oh man, I'm trying to think of that place. It was where I was at Glasgow. Oh man, it'll come to me. All right. So what I want to do. Hiya, Gary and Nicola. Yeah, that's officer, the one S151 officer. Yes, I do agree with that. He is totally that cheeky little swine. Yeah, they all think that they're very clever though. All these council workers and 151 officers, when they get questioned, they don't like it, and when they get notices with things put on where you can't tick a box, you know, and say yes, no, ABC, then they've got no idea what to do. It totally blows their brains because they have to do some actual thinking. You know, and the thing is with a 151 officer, they are like legally trained as well, but that's the problem, isn't it? They're legally trained, not lawfully trained. Kelvin Halls in Glasgow. Where's that then? Which bit is that? I'm trying to think. It was like a part of Glasgow, and we went to there. Like I say, I went up a few times. Sometimes it was in this big town hall. I took fighters up in there. I never ever did fight in the big town hall. I just took fighters to it. I always fought in the horrible community centre. Yeah, but it was good fun. It was all good fun. All right, I'm going to share the screen. What is a 151 officer? A 151 officer works for the council. They are the legally trained member of the council. So when they're doing their council tax, they are the ones that have the power that can actually just cancel your council tax. Cancel the council tax. Bloody hell, that's hard to say. All right, Paul. Okay. I hope you want to shake my hand, not my head. I want to shake my head. All right, you did? Okay, excellent. Homeless people have fought in the Kelvin's halls. Don't know where that is. Try to think of the name, but yeah, but I took a few of my competitors up to there a few times. Oops. But I never ever did fight. I always went into the horrible community centre bit, middle of the nothing. Not that there's anything wrong with council estates, but this was like a little bit rough. This one. I really don't know if they are or not, but because they're not solicitors, dime bar. So like these S151 officers, they have the power to switch off the actual what do you call it, the council tax. But we're not talking about council tax in this matter that I was talking with Gary about and Nicola about there. But the so you always have to deal with them though on finance and anything like that. So you know that's any kind of like situation like that, you know. But they are trained, but I don't think, you know what I mean. But I don't think they're a solicitor or anything like that. Anyway, either one. Let's have a look. So I was wanting to talk about a lot of different things. Okay, but right now, just so everybody is aware, of what's going on, and you've got to start doing a lot more financial education. Okay, this is everybody. Hiya, Julie. You're all got to start doing a lot more financial education. It is no accident, okay, that everything that's been going on lately with all of these prime ministers, the all right, okay, so these prime ministers that have been like chopping and changing and swapping. All right, I tell you what, I'm going to take this jumper off. It's getting a bit warm in here. The sitting nearer the radiator than normal, I think. I've got it turned down. We've only just turned the heating on. We've never had it on much at all. But it's quite hot. Yeah, but this guy, this one that's came in, all right, not only it looks on two different sides. You got to watch two different sides of this and what's going on behind. Yeah, wishy-washy Sunak. Okay, but the guy is just 100% digital currency. Okay, he's not just about I want everything to be digital. It's all got to be we're going to close everything down, but he's really pushing for crypto to be used. So you've got to look at both sides of it, and this is why you've really got to start educating yourself on this cryptocurrency, this digital currency, because if you're not careful, you're going to end up getting jammed straight where they want you to be. So they're all going to have to use it as well. This is the thing, right? They're all going to be having to use it. Now, do you think that they're going to be using the same cryptocurrencies are going to make everyone else use? All right. So you've got Slippy Sunak, right? Do you think that 100% a WEF puppet? I mean, I think he's like Klaus Schwab's cousin. Okay. It's like from the Asian side. Honestly, it's 100% arranged and organized. They didn't want. Not that I'm a fan of any of them, and I know it's all puppetry, but that there is complete and utter WF planning, and there is like a little bit on the other side, and there's a lot of fighting going on here, a lot of like backfighting. But this guy's been put in there for digital currency. He's been put in under the WEF, by the way, to push this like narrative for getting the CBDCs, right? That's the central bank digital currency, digital coins, whichever one you call it, whichever one you want to call it. But he's been put in there to get this ready for the UK, and it will be happening, and it's going to happen, right? I tell you what, there's like, it's going to be a transition. It's not going to be like boom, Friday night, next Friday, boom, it's all gone. Okay, but that's the thing with they're not going to get away with everything. All right, so don't panic about everything, and I'm not here to doom and gloom. I don't do that. Right, I'm just wanting you to like be informed, and I want you to be starting to educate yourself more on the digital currency and the cryptocurrency, and finding out which ones would be usable and which ones wouldn't be usable, and how you can maybe sort of like make some money out of it and benefit from it. What I would hate to be, right? I've never ever thought how to ever say this, but I'm lucky that I haven't got much money in the bank, so I don't have to worry about it. But I would hate to be someone who's like either had a payment, like people have been cashing in their pensions, and there's people been like getting inheritances, and there's a lot of people that I spoke of been like cashing in pensions, and they've got a lot of money, right? And it's sitting in a bank. I would be panicking now, because they can just stop it now. Don't think that they need digital currency to do that, by the way. Honestly, the pain in the neck just trying to actually get some money out from them is ridiculous. It's like, what do you want that money for? Now, I've got it now. I've literally got, I don't know, about like 60, 70 pounds like in the bank now, because I'm not going to have any money, and that I have to take it out and let them like, bloody going on and on and on at me. Like, what do you want that for? What are you doing with that? Think, what's my money? I can do what I want. But it isn't really, is it? Once you've actually deposited into the bank, it belongs to them. You know that it belongs to them, and there is no lawful or legal means right, that says they must repay it to you. Just think of that, okay? So, repay. I want to talk a little bit about that. Yeah, exactly. These CBDCs, they're programmable, okay? Programmable. So what that means is let's just say that they did a lockdown again, right? And let's just say, right, you're not allowed within, a mile of your house. So if you actually go, like, in your car and travel further than a mile and go to with your car to a supermarket, it won't work if you're outside of your zone. In Oxford, I heard in Oxford, right, that they've actually got zones now that if you drive outside of this, whatever zone it is where you live, where your house is, if you drive outside of that zone, okay, then you get a fine, right? So they're saying that they're trying to get it to where, lower the carbon, right? I've got some facts I'm going to tell you about the carbon in a minute, which just show you it's an utter pile of nonsense, okay? You are loaning the bank. Okay, that's right. There is no such term for a deposit in the lawful language. So if you actually give, the bank your money, even if it's getting paid into the bank by your employer, you've got like wages going, you're lending them the money, but there is nothing like that could force them to give you it back. An interest-free account. I just thought all accounts were interest-free. I don't pay any interest, or they'd pay you interest. Is that what you mean? I don't know. I don't get anything like that. Own nothing, control everything. That's my motto as well. Good old J.D. Rockefeller. Okay. Yeah, right. I'm going to give you some good facts about that, Lulu. But he is pushing anyway. Old Rishi Dishy. He is pushing for the digital currency. So you've got a lot of clever people that are starting to investigate more, and I follow a lot of people that that do digital currency and try to find out where's the parts of it that are decentralized, or at least partly decentralized. Okay, just imagine this: that they know exactly what you're doing with your money all the time. Hiya, Hado, how you doing? So I don't know so much about like the digital ID thing. I think that, but remember this, okay, that where we stand under law. We stand under the Creator. I stand under the Creator. I do not follow acts and statutes. So anything that they tell you that, oh, you must do this, you must do that. Well, no. What you're saying is, if you agree you're a person, so if you sign on to be a citizen, good citizen, right? I am an ens legis, I am the person, then yeah, get on with it, mate. You can get your digital ID and you can get your digital what's nots. However, all right, standing there as a man under the Creator, then they can't tell me what to do. Okay, as simple as that, So we're set up in a private members association. Everything is a PMA. The property is held in a private trust, which is part of the PMA. We are in the private. We talk about the private, and we deal in the private. We only ever have dealings with private members. We don't deal outside, apart from going to the shop to buy some. What do I buy? Everything's done basically private. But just so this guy, he's very much on the WAF side, but he also is very much his parents. Yes, I know they're involved in the digital ID because they're going to try and push it. I don't think he's going to be here for very long. They're going to try and do as much damage as they can, while they're actually at it. But we've got to stay in the private. All right, we have got to stay. As much as what we actually can. So listen, gold and silver is always going to be the best bet. Gold and silver, and I've got little bits of both. Probably more silver than gold. But because I like buying the coins, I like having the coins. I would never ever. Everyone can do what they want. I'm not giving any advice to anyone. You can do anything you want, but no way would I say, oh, look, I'm going to buy gold and it's going to be stored for me, and I get a little digital currency card thing, and it says I've got such and such in Switzerland. To hell with that. talking about Switzerland. It's not really, but it's like Swiss, the Swiss bank. Has anybody heard what happened with the Swiss bank? Which is a big bank that's in London. They, right? All right. I don't know if you get a pension. Will there be a pension? Right? They've just put this guy in this sishy wishy dishy, and he's already saying he's going to take money out of the pension pot. He's already saying that. Yeah. So, you know, are you going to get a pension anyway by the time it gets up there? So, you know, yeah, we've heard of the myth of the QFS. There is a QFS, the quantum financial system. That's what they're trying to swap it all over to now. But Nasara, as in that, and like, you know, well, you're going to be waiting a long, long time before you see any of that. I tell you, and like, hey, I would be jumping up and down for joy and over the moon to be proven wrong. You know, I'm not there to try and fishy rishy. That's a good one. I like that one. Fishy rishy. All right, but see that Swiss bank, they're actually in massive trouble now. So they're not in receivership yet, but they are restructuring their entire corporation now because they're in trouble, real big trouble. Okay. All right, Dorian. That's sad to hear you couldn't make it, but hopefully you get there next time. I can go that way sometime. All right. Okay. All right. So what's that say? Connex was short of silver 10%. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of silver getting withheld. You know, they're actually restructuring. They're very close to bankruptcy. I think Bar. That's what they're saying. The restructuring. It's like Lehman's Brothers, 2007. They came out and they said everything's fine. We're just doing some restructuring. It's all going to be good. And then they shut down the next day. Boom, gone. You know. So somebody heard that through YouTube that they gave some guy 150,000 on a promissory note. Who gave them that though? What do you mean by that? Who gave them that? You know, but that there, okay, bank on Brics, exactly that. Jace said it. The Swiss bank or Bank Suisse, okay, they're in big trouble. And what you've actually got, if you look at it, it's like I'm saying, there's a lot of these companies, the bullion companies now, and they're struggling to supply the silver. But I think the silver's being pulled back and hidden so that it keeps the price low. Swiss bank, it's going down, man. They're restructuring is what they call it. So we're in the PMA for 100%. We're in the PMA. That's all we ever do is deal in the PMA, completely in the private. Hi, Teresa. All right. See, when you're going into the private, you got to remember what there is two realms. There always been two realms. There always will be two realms. You have the private and the public. Now, when you're dealing with like things in the private, that's you being in the private and dealing in the private. But if you want to pop into the public, all right, and you want to go like when you're driving down the road, not traveling. All right, doesn't matter. But anyway, so you've gone into the public, okay, and whenever you deal a bank account, it's the public. Let's face it, a bank account is the public. You go onto a train or a plane or an automobile. Good film, but I mean, they're all public. You're in the public, but you got to remember, you can still act as a private man even when you're in the public, but you have to agree to their public terms and conditions to be in that position. All right. Normally, what I would be having a sup on a Friday night, I'll be having some IPA, some Indian Pale Ale, but that's thing. It's not really. It's going down a bit, but I've got this special thing. Whoever heard of the story about? I can't remember what it was, but it was like maybe porridge, and they were eating the porridge, and every time they ate the porridge, and they went back the next day and it was full up again. You know. All right. Okay. Yeah, commerce is happening all around you all the time. So mobile phones, that's commerce. Going into a bank, that's commerce. But you can still act and live in the private, even when you're in like the public realm. Okay. Yeah, like for 100%, digital currency is on the way. So, but what they're doing now, who's heard of Bretton Woods? Who's heard of Bretton Woods and the gold? Right. So you're looking at that. That was, can't remember, 71? No, or 71 or 73. So they're calling this now, right, this digital currency. And that's why they've got like fishy in. This is Bretton Woods 3, they're calling this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So right, okay. Yeah, that's it. Everyone, BlackRock and Vanguard rule the world. They certainly do. And BlackRock and Vanguard, what they do is they're actually intermingled, so they actually own each other, you know. Yeah, exactly. Be the private, user public. That's what we have to do. But that Bretton Woods 3, this is what they're going to change everything that they want to do to go over to the digital currency. So we got to learn how to use it and learn how to actually adapt, because there's going to be people that's going to be making money out of it, and there's people that are going to be losing. You know, so we don't want to be on the too bad of a losing side, do we? Right. So like we've got to like keep an eye on that and learn more. Go to Rice TV and watch Rice TV about like the digital currency, you know, because that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But the thing is, like I say, that Credit Suisse, right? They announced that it's struggling and that they're restructuring everything. And by March 2023, the SWIFT is going to use digital currency. That's already been announced. So the SWIFT system, which is where they move the money, that it will be there, you know. So it's going to be what it's going to be. And now, right, under Fishy Rishi, the UK actually recognize now. They say cryptocurrency is now a financial instrument. All right, that's the first time that's ever been said. So it's now recognized as a financial instrument. Okay. Okay. Well, Marie says she feels sorry for the older generation that don't understand. I don't understand it, so I'm just trying to learn how to do it now, you know? So, yeah, definitely. The Clearfield Doctrine, we've got to realize, you know, what the whole thing is all linked together. All right. So you've got like the digital currency coming in with the same thing that they're pushing this climate agenda. The climate agenda is the biggest nonsense that you could ever figure out. So I'm going to talk a little bit about like the finance anyway, and also contract law, right? But on the side of the climate change, right? They're even going to get rid of some cryptocurrency because they say that it costs too much to actually like do the what do you call it? I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, the create it, the mine it, and it costs too much, right? So that they're actually going to get rid of it, and they will be left with these other like different types of cryptocurrencies. And the same because it takes too much carbon. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity, you know. So hey there, Jimmy. How you doing? Mining, yeah. So that's what they say. All right. The that's exactly what they do. Screwing all the people so that they actually benefit. So the when they're doing these things, when like I've been trying to get some more of these solar panels, and I'm trying to put them up with I can't remember what it's called. It's like an inverter and it has a battery. So what we'll do is I've got it. It's only a little one, and I've put it on the shed roof, and it charges this battery. I woke up this morning, it was pouring rain. I thought I'm not going to get much out of this now, but then it got sunny in the afternoon, so I stuck it back out, and it got up to 100%. So what that'll do, I actually put that in the garage and I plug in the fridge and freezer, and that'll run the fridge and freezer all night. So I'm not using any power, like as in I'm not paying for it, you know. So that was the idea. So the thing is, like, you're still going to be paying the electric companies because they charge you just for having the meter in the house. That's the insanity of it. You know what I mean? So on the green side, but they're pushing everything like for the green side. And I don't mind, like, trying to, like, do my own little bit where it's going to be good for me in the house. But the thing is with saying it's going to be greener and all of that is just an absolute nonsense, because we're not going to harm the planet by carbon. We simply aren't. If we don't create carbon, the trees themselves and the plants will die. They need carbon. They eat carbon. That is their food, their fuel, and then they turn it right into the what do you call it? Oxygen. So it works in unity. So it's absolutely crazy to say that we need to stop creating carbon. And it's just, everything is just about like killing the people. That's all it's for. Depopulation. It was hilarious. They're building a new train station where I am. Not where I am, but my gym that I had before I gave it to my son was in a town called Blythe. Now we moved here, I think 1968, something like that, and they had a massive train station, and they'd closed it down. I can't remember the name of the guy. He went around all the country and they closed all these train stations down. And then they got rid of it and they lifted up all of the lines, the train lines and everything like that. And now, right, they're building two new train stations. So like one in Blythe, that town where my gym was, and then one in a little village a little bit further along. I think it's just this insanity. And I think a lot of it is to try. I mean, what do you think these trains run on? It's absolutely crazy. So but what they're doing in Newcastle, if you imagine it in London, right? I was talking to this taxi driver when I was coming back from Bolton, and he picked me up at the station, Newcastle train station. Now, from Christmas, I think it is, taxis will be fined. Can't remember, it is £12 every time that they go into the middle of Newcastle now. So I know that in London you've got these what they call the ULEZ fines, so that if you travel into certain areas in London, then you get fined. So now all of the normal cars can go in anywhere they want in Newcastle, right? But in Christmas going onwards, then if you're a taxi driver, you get fined. Whatever it is, I can't remember what he said now. I think it might have been 12 quid. I don't know. All right. How is that actually doing anything to actually help the planet? I was trying to talk to the guy and you could see him switching off. He's actually saying, oh, none of this makes sense. All of this is stupid. So I'm saying, well, what they're trying to do is they're actually just trying to crush humanity. It's like, depopulation thing, like the COVID stuff. Right? Oh, shouldn't have said that word. And, and he just switched off. You just seen as he went, me, like, absolutely crazy. But, and I was listening to this guy who used to own his own company, and he used to build fans. What do they call them? Like the windmills, like they do the wind turbines that create electricity. And they've got them like off the sea here, off our coast. And how many tons of concrete was? It's like, oh yeah, it's right. If it was on land, right? If it was on land, it takes 66 concrete lorries, right? So 66 trucks full of concrete just to put the base in. So that like creates there, all right. The where is it? So when they're tying it on there, right, they're actually increasing all the carbon emissions. So we're supposed to be getting rid of carbon, right? So that when they put the wire, right, or for the power lines, copper wire. So when they get 1 ton of copper wire creates 5.4 tons of carbon, you know? So absolutely insanity. So, and then you've got like 1 ton of the aluminium, which is for the actual electrical fittings. That creates 10.4 tons of carbon. It's absolutely mental. So on the actual turbines there, they reckon a turbine can only last 20 years before it has to be stripped down, right? But it takes them 38 years for it to pay for itself. You know, that's just crazy, you know. So it's just absolutely mental. But for sure, you know, what we've got to do. There was this rich guy, and he was on. He says, what you need to do is get rid of everything that you don't need, buy as much silver and gold as you can, and then try and find at least a couple of months of the year to be able to go and live off grid. Have a little hut, a little shelter, and like go and live off grid. You know, that would be interesting. I wouldn't mind doing that. All right, but just beware, all right, of everything that's going on now. Where are we going? Yeah, I reckon that we do know that. Peter Pope, yeah. So you need to have a look at my website. Can't remember what it's called now. Oh yeah, claimyourstrawman.com. Now you can go on there and you can download for free what we call the lawful notice and demand. When you download the lawful notice and demand, right, it tells you that you are going to rebut, all right, the Seta KV Act of 1666, where it tells you are dead and lost beyond the seas, which is what Peter's saying there. So, you know, and that's what we do. We tell them, look, we're not dead. We are alive and we're living in the private. So the thing is, acts and statutes can only be applied to you if you accept them and consent to them. Now, they do use tacit consent, so you have to rebut their tacit consent. Now, what we mean by tacit consent, if you do not argue back, then you accept. So you have to make sure that you argue back. Okay, so by arguing back, we don't mean making controversy. What we actually mean is that you've got to tell them that you are not dead, you're not beyond the seas, that you're alive and well, and you live in the private, and that you are not an ens legis, you are not a legal fiction, you are not a corporate soul, that you are a man. Now, when we say it, we say that we're a man or a woman. We don't say a living man, we don't say a sovereign man, all right? We don't use any of them nonsense words. It's a man or a woman. It's simple as that. Now, I'm going to show you a link now that you can go and have a look at. It's on my website. It's completely and absolutely free. I said this to the members last night. I'm going to tell everyone else now. Totally free. And it's about a question and answer session with two guys. One's called Greg Paul and the other one's called John Little. And it's about the law of mankind. Okay, so or man, the law of man. Now give me a look. I can share my screen. Let me have a look. It's that one or that one. God knows which one it is. It's got to be that one. Okay. Right, let's have a look now. How do I share my screen? I'm sure I've done it before. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. Sure, I've done that before. Shared the screen. But anyway, if you go onto my website, right, claimyourstrawman.com, and you go, if you've already, if you're not on it, then just go and sign up for it so you can get the messages. And then you go on to the forms, which you can download your lawful notice and demand, and you'll see a list. It's called the Sovereign's Way. Now, it's called the Sovereign's Way, right? And they don't even like that word. So, so they'll admit it. But I just think they've used it because they'll agree, a lot of people do comprehend what it means. So, and it's there's a link. It's called the Sovereign's Way Free Law and Sovereignty Q&A Clinic. I'm going to click on it and I'll read it to you. So you click on it. It's totally free. You all you got to do is sign up, and it's 11 days away. So November the 9th at 7 p.m. UK time, that is. And you can go on, and it's a massive Q&A session with John Little and Greg Paul. But John Little is 100% the guy that you need to be listening to. He is absolutely brilliant. So now, when you go on, it's a question and answer thing, and it's free. You just go on and sort it out. And you can get a lot of questions answered on there. I've done several courses with them. I think they're really, really good. And it tells you all about the law, and it's being law. You've got to express your law. This is the thing. Acts and statutes, legislation can never replace law, and it's never above law. They're just trying to kid you that it is. Does that make sense? All right. Yeah. Greg Paul, that's him. He's the English guy. So you've got two. One's English, Greg Paul's English, and John Little is American. And both of them have had loads of success. All right. Hang on a second. It's dry. It's my excuse anyway. All right. So the both of them have had a lot of success just closing things down, closing the legal society down, closing down legal papers. All right. So the whenever you're doing it on a lawful side, okay, which is a couple of people on here tonight that we're talking about the S151 officer, and we're talking to them, the S151 officer, on a lawful basis. All right. So and they don't get it. They really don't get it. So they're just going to go and act on the legal society, and anything that's outside of the legal society, they either try to fob it off. They don't realize that they've got law, right? They think that the legal means everything, and it's absolutely crazy. So the thing is, when you're going to deal with it in law, so them people there, I did a course with them on it was called Law Common to I. Now, what was it? It was about was creating your notices in law or at law to talk to them when you're dealing with them. So when we actually write them a notice, okay, because there is nothing, there's no such thing as a government. There's no such thing as a council. There's no such thing as a policeman that's done you something wrong to you. Okay, there is only a man, right? So let's just say Fred Smith, right, who at times acts as a council worker. Fred Smith, who at times acts as a government agent. Fred Smith, who at times acts as a policeman. We're talking to the man. We're talking to them, not the job. Nobody can hide under motu proprio. Nobody can hide behind the good old Fred. Nobody can hide behind the badge. Nobody can hide behind the name of the government or the company or anything. I remember having like the argument when I kept my gym open, right, during COVID, and I says, well, we're just going to put a claim in against you. And this woman, hideous bitch, and she said, no, you can't do that. You'll just have to do it to the council. I was thinking, really? Okay. I mean, it didn't get that far anyway, but so the thing is, like, what we're doing is you've got to deal with them in their private capacity as man or woman. Okay. So, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it has to be. Okay. So the I told you about that one, didn't I? So I just so you know, all right, that's definitely what we're going to be doing. I can't wish I could share my screen. I've done it before, Invite, present. What does that mean? Right. Share screen. So I can share screen. So I'll share screen. Window. There. There we go. Right. Look. So here, right, this is it there. Okay. So sharing that screen there. All right. So if I go on to that one, so share it completely. Okay. So if I go back to that, if I actually go backwards, it'll take it to my website. Oh, no, it doesn't. All right. Okay. So it'll take it onto there. So this is the this is what, when you sign up for this, if you go onto my website, then you can sign up. Look, it's totally free. All right. And you can get to see. Whoa, I don't know how I did that. Well, that's big. Okay. There we go. Escape takes it back to there. All right. So I definitely recommend that you do that. So stop screen and we're back. Cool. Hey, I found out how to do it. How clever am I? So what I also want to do, I'm going to share another screen, okay? Because I want to talk about the, somebody just mentioned it before. I want to talk about the Brics Alliance. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, the thing is with them as well is that they are getting a lot of other countries that are joining them and a lot of other countries that are applying to join them, including all of the OPEC oil producing countries. So why are they doing that? Because they are wanting to fight the cabal. They are wanting to fight the UK and the USA. Now, remember, we're talking about Bretton Woods. In the Bretton Woods Agreement, so what they'd said was that they're going to get rid of all the gold, and then the global currency would be the dollar, and then the UK would be the backed the UK pound, right? The British pound would be backed by the dollar. But then they took away all of the gold, so then the dollar was backed by nothing. So hence, like the pound is backed by nothing. And that's what I was talking about before. Now they're moving it onto the digital currency, so they're calling it the Bretton Woods 3. But this BRICS alliance, they're actually going in and they're going to crush the dollar. I bet you the next year, right, by the end of next year, you won't have the dollar. There definitely won't be the world currency. You'll not be buying things in the petrodollar. All of the OPEC nations, they're literally sick to death of the cabal. They're sick to death of the UK and the USA. You've got to remember, and actually, Dimebars just said it there, the UK is the cabal HQ. It is. That's why we have it harder here when we're trying to do things, like trying to secure our status, correct the status, and get access to the Set KV trust, because this is the bleeding heart of the cabal. London City, or the City of London, where the Temple Bar is, and where literally the Bar Association runs all of the legal society in the world, all of it. So that's why we have such a hard time here. So that when you've got all the BRICS nations, it might sound terrible, and it probably is going to be terrible, because what they're going to do is they're going to go right against the UK, which we live in. Well, a lot of us do anyway, and it is what it is. And I'm not actually fussed or bothered, like Putin, he's actually just said that he wouldn't, use atom bombs or, but, if he did and he dropped it on us, I wouldn't give a shit anyway, because we're all going to die at the same time. So it wouldn't really matter. I couldn't really care. But everything is much, much more hidden in the UK than it is anywhere else. That's absolutely right, ER. So what I want to do is like, they're fighting hard against the cabal, and they're fighting hard against the Ukraine center is the height of money laundering for the cabal. It's the height of sex trafficking. It's the height of child trafficking. All that, and that's what that Zelensky scumbag. So I'm going to share another screen with you here, which shows, right, that they're pushing hard now, right, for these war crimes that they've been committing. And let me see if I can. So if I present, share screen, there, Russia, there, and we share it. So you got to go and you got to like suss it out for yourself, look for yourself. Okay, so come back onto there. Let's put it into a main screen. All right. So now the UN are starting to admit it a little bit. The UN are starting to get a bit panicky because it's getting too big. It's getting like a bit crazy. So they're having to admit things. So this here, if you have a look at this site, it's called The Hill. This is actually very close to mainstream media. All right. So now, right, they're actually getting a massive amount of pressure. All of these countries that are not in NATO, and they're all pushing hard to get this information out there. So yes, things are going to get nasty, but stop the screen. All right, so just letting you know, okay, that what's going on behind the scenes. There is a lot going on. Okay, a lot of fighting going on. You know, so there's Dimeball. Look, City of London's a 2,000-year-old PMA. It is a PMA, you know, and that's why you need to get into the private, have a private trust, and you know, be running a PMA if you've got any commercial entity whatsoever. All right. Yeah, Balmoral, Bob. Exactly. Bal. So the City of London, the Temple Bar in the City of London, it's the only bit of land in the whole of the world that does not pay homage to the Vatican. The Vatican is, we send everything to the Vatican through the City of London. However, the City of London, the 1.2 square mile, but the Temple Bar itself, right? It's the only bit of land in the whole country that does not pay homage to what do you call it? To the Vatican, believe it or not. So let us crack on. So I was going to talk a lot about like not a lot, a bit about the debts as well. All right, so I think there's a lot of people hopefully went out and bought this book. It's an absolutely brilliant book, and Claire's asking, have I bought any rubles? No, but I bought plenty. Well, I haven't bought plenty. That's not true. But I bought a bit of silver. Okay. So I would suggest that everyone tries to get themselves some metals. Definitely silver or gold. You know, if you can't get a hold of the silver, start learning, right? How to do a little bit about the cryptocurrency, and get yourself in the private, and then get yourself a private trust created. Now, I am going to do a course, if it's called a course, right? So what I'm going to do, because a lot of people are still struggling, I'm going to have a course, and on that course, right, I'm going to show people on how to go onto the Office of the Public Guardian and create a power of attorney, the wellness and the finance, right? We're also going to show them how to do the how to actually create a private trust. I'm going to show you the deed, how to create the deed. After the deed, right, then what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do the memorandum of trust creation, the trust certificate of creation. Then we're going to have like the assignment of property into it. Then we're going to show you the UBI certificates, and then we'll show you the trustee certificates as well. Okay. And literally how to do it step by step. We're going to do it at the same time as you. We're going to show you how to do it so you can copy it, download the forms and do it. And then I'm also going to show you at the same time in the same course, we're going to probably do it over a day, just live on the internet, on Zoom, how to do the AP one on the land registry, the TR one on the land registry, the RX one on the land registry, and also how to do like the ID one as well to get it signed off by the solicitors. So massive course. And on top of that, we're also going to show you how to actually create the how to do the paperwork for the lawful notice and demand, the the power of attorney in fact, and also the security agreement. So we're going to show you all of that, how to do that on this course. And I know a lot of people already have done it, and that's fine, it's good, but a lot of people are still saying, I find it too hard. Okay, so we're going to do that so you can go and get on that course, and it'll be way, way, way less expensive than it would be to actually get someone to create a private trust for you. So it isn't going to be sort of like, you know, going in and I'm going to show you how to everything about equity. I'm going to show you all about equity law. I'm going to teach you all about like trust law and how it ties in with equity. You know, I'm not going to go in that far, but I'll teach you how to create your own. Okay. Oh, right. Do you know, like, somebody was asking me to go to Liverpool during the week there. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind going to Liverpool. So I'll do an event next year, go to Liverpool. Jay, the bank account is great, by the way. Is that for the PMA? Is that what you're talking about, Jay? Don't say the name of it, please. Right. But is that what you mean? The bank account for the PMA? Let me know if that's what you mean by that. Because we actually have a bank account that can be used for both a private members association or a private trust. Now, I know there's a lot of people that the PMA, brilliant, chuffed to bits, that have been trying to do that and can't get it. Okay. Yeah, mine was done totally fine. It's working absolutely brilliant. And everybody else that I've got and done the PMA for that, we've been able to get their bank account up and running either with a private trust or with a PMA. All right. And no one else in the country has been able to do it. I've never heard of anyone else that's been able to do it. Yeah, D. Well, I'm going to send out the information for that course to do that. I'm going to try and do it probably early December. Okay. So yeah, and I'll be sending out all the information. It's going to be a massive course. It's going to take a day to do. You know, it's going to be quite something. But yeah. So good. I'm glad to hear that, Jay. So like the bank account for the PMA works very well. Getting things paid in, transferring works in very, very smoothly. All right. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So Hunter Fiona says a Queen of Freedom called Doncaster Council 151 officer and asked if they were legally trained, and they said they don't have to be. They just have to be a qualified accountant. Very similar to that, though, isn't it? Really. Okay. But, maybe it's all councils are different as well, because ours said you've got to be legally trained. So maybe it's different, or maybe they've got different ideas, or maybe they lie, because they're all full of crap, aren't they, really? Well, you see, that's the thing with the we don't know with the bail-in, right? So let's just say that they're going to do a bail-in in the banks, which I do think they're going to do, and I do think they're going to do it next year. If we have a PMA bank account, and it's set up as a trust, this bank account is set up as a trust. So I'm pretty sure I don't know if they'll take it. I'm not, I can't read their minds, but it'll definitely be safer than your normal bank account. And you do not want to try and run a PMA from a normal bank account. You really don't. And if you want to get a private trust with finances, which I don't recommend, by the way, I'd rather have a PMA tied in with a private trust and then the PMA have the PMA bank account. Okay. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure that we're far more protected than a normal bank account. Okay. All right. So listen there. So like Lulu's just talking about a little bit about the home education bill, or what's it, or the education bill, or whatever it is. But it's a bill, the schools bill. All right, there you go. Schools bill. It's a bill. So that's an act and statute. We stand as man and woman. So if we stand as man and woman, I couldn't give a toss. I tell you, I shared a book a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen it, and it was by David Edelman, and it was, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was something like School No Place for Kids, and it truly is no place for kids. And he, you know, when he was saying that he's got in his book, it must be, and he was talking about on one of his short videos, and just said, you know, that you've got to stand in your power and not let these inspectors that come along, all right, and say they want to ask questions. No, it's the same thing as your private trust. It's the same thing as your PMA. Excuse me, this is private, none of your business. We do not deal with agents. Okay, nothing to do with you. Stay away. All right. So you know, you've just got to learn more and educate yourself and be ready to stand in the private. So yeah, have the PMA, have the private trust and also have the PMA, you know, work together. Or if you just need the private trust, right? Someone's saying that I need a PMA if I'm just going to educate my son or daughter, not child, by the way, you know, at home. But you don't need a PMA just to do it for your own. Okay. Oh, good, Dawn. Great to hear that. The you know, you're just doing it on your own. So, but you definitely put it into a private school, no place for children. Yeah, good. You know, you definitely need it on a private trust and have everything private. And they can't do anything. They're going to always rely on legislation. They're always going to say, "Oh, the legislation says the schools bill, the schools act, you know, 1998 act." It's an act, right? Which means it's pretend. Okay. The PMA, why would a PMA pay tax at all? Can anyone answer me that question? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you believe that paying tax is voluntary. Do you think it's voluntary to pay tax? For man and woman, by the way. For man and woman to pay tax. Okay? Do you think it's voluntary? All right. So a PMA tax is voluntary, 100% voluntary. So you can volunteer. So that thing that I shared with you to go on to, all right, that law of mankind, it's going to be a Q&A. It is a Q&A, and you can ask questions totally free. Go on it. Okay, exactly, John. John said it there. Your person, it must pay tax. So if you agree to be the person, then pay it. Get on with it. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Who cares? All right. But if you want to be man and woman and you want to be in the private and you want to have a PMA or be living in the private, so like what you do is like you deal on a private basis. So on our PMA, we have private donations for private people. So everyone's on the private. It's up to you if you want to do. So on here, I know for a fact, a lot of what they're wanting to do is talk about how to be out of the tax system, how not to pay tax. So make sure that you get yourself along and have a look. Right, you can ask them the questions and listening to a lot of the answers that come out. A lot of questions will be asked. Some things that you probably even had wanted to ask but haven't got the time, and you'll hear it. All right, a mask wearer is definitely it's one of the definitions of a person for sure, Peter Pope. However, it's also a soul, a corporation soul, or an ens legis, or a corporation. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure that I'm not a mask wearer. Definitely not. Okay. In Stroud's Judicial Dictionary states a person, it's an artificial entity. It does. It's a corporate soul. All right. Well, I'm not artificial. Okay. I'm not like made up, because when Mouse bit my hand and chewed it to bits and I was bleeding all over the place, I felt everything. So I can't be artificial. And I was in hospital for a week when he chewed my hand up. So I can't be artificial. It hurt too much. Rishi, is he a person? His missus can't be, because they don't pay tax, do they? You see, this is the thing. The wealthy, they don't pay anything. They just take it all off of us, you see. So, you know, it's absolutely crazy. So, you know, at the end of the day, I would definitely recommend going onto that that course, totally free, Q&A, whatever date it was, can't remember now, and listen to it. But I wouldn't actually give that much information out on here, being an open channel. All right. But if anybody needs advice about tax and a man or a woman, you know, being man or woman, and why the acts and statutes do not apply, and how to be outside of that system, then you'll have to speak to me privately. I'm certainly not going to do it on this public forum. Okay. And a lot of the presentations that I do, which I'm not going to show now, I've got loads of slides, and I teach quite a lot about, like, you know, showing people how it is that they created this system, which is the dead earth hologram, and how it is that you actually have a person, but you are not a person. How you are man or woman and not a person. Right. Because it is the whole thing. The whole thing is just an absolute joke. It's like all fake and fraud. I got bitten on the head by a mosquito. What's that say? I'm not really sure what that means. Finger inspecting them. But anyway, we've one off it. So, like, I also wanted to show you this one as well. Okay, yeah, let's get back into it. I'll share my screen one more time, only because I'm trying to show how clever I was, because I found out how to do it and I couldn't do it before. Where is it now? On there. I know, hopefully some of you have seen this. Okay, so it's the Secret Banker's Manual by a guy called Tom Schaff. Okay, so this here, right, I'll show you the next book in a little bit. All right, Secret Loan Agreement, Court and UCC Secrets. UCC! Oh my God. All right, and it goes on. Okay, and this here, there it is. Like, so look here, Mr. Schaff. All right, Tom Schaff, Schauf. You can download this. All right, this is a PDF. You can easily download it for free, and it tells you how to fight any debt, any mortgage, anything like that whatsoever. Look at all of the case law it has in. This guy has had massive, massive, massive success in fighting loads of debts through court, loads of mortgages through court, all of that kind of business. Okay, stop sharing. All right, so very, very good. You can get that. All right, easily. Okay, now I want to show you this one now, which I think everybody should go and buy. All right, I'm not on commission either, by the way. I should have asked him for commission. Where is it? The title is unimportant. How to Get Out of Debt Without Spending a Penny. Right, by P. Michael Yates. It's Paul is his name, Paul Michael Yates. Okay, so yeah, there's somebody shared there the manual for the Tom Schaff. Definitely get a hold of it, and then get a hold of that as well, and compare the two. Because I reckon this guy here also studied Tom Schaff. Okay, so with these here, you've got brilliant, what do you call them? Templates in, so that you can design your own. So if you look at this course that the Sovereign's Way are doing, then get the information and the knowledge from there. Now, fair enough, it's a free course, so they're not going to give you everything, but they'll give you a good insight. And then get that Banker's Manual. There it is. There's a link. They've shared it. So get that link there that Facebook user, whoever that is, has shared. And then go buy this one off Amazon. So with all of them, which guy? What do you mean, George? Whose name? You know, the Schaf, and actually SCHAUF. You can see it above on that link. But you know, when you're talking about that, no, SCHAUF. That's how you spell his name, Tom Schaff. So on that banker's manual, absolutely brilliant. Tie it in with that one, and you'll never have to pay a debt again for the rest of your life. You know, if you've got any credit card or bank, go and get yourself a load of credit cards. This guy says do it. Go and get a load of credit cards, max them out, and then shut them all down. Yeah, Claire, this is the guy. Look, this guy, for the last 20 years, he's been living off credit cards. All right. So he's been going on credit cards, maxing them all out, and then closing them all down and starting again. Rinse and repeat, he calls it, or something like that. All right. So, you know, I definitely recommend it on there. There's some great information on there, and compare and then combine that with what I've got all on the YouTube channels and everything, and on the private channel. You know, page 80. What's on page 80? Okay, that's good. Tell you what, I'll read this to you. This is off Barbara. This is good, you know. So it's talking about this guy here is talking to a debt collector. All right. So banks never lend you money. Hopefully that you've watched enough of my videos to know that there's no such thing as debt, and that you actually create the credit. You don't borrow anything. When you sign either and not just, it's electronic, you know, your electronic signature is still your sign of nature. All right, your signature, your sign of nature, electronic or wet ink, doesn't matter. You, right, create the credit. So what happens is you sign a promissory note or a promissory note, however you want to pronounce it. It's a security instrument. It's worth cash. The bank then put that cash in the bank, their account, and then they give it to you, and then tell you, even though you created it and gave it to them, that they loaned it to you, and then they want you to repay it. Yeah, so they're going to send it to you. So you send it back to them, say, who's you? Tell me who you is, and I'll send a note to you. Work that one out. Okay, so this is an exact transcript of a call made to me by a debt collection agency who had bought debt from American Express. Hello, is that Mr. Such and Such? That depends on who is asking. Oh, okay. My name is Tom, and I'm calling from so-and-so Limited. They often do not disclose that they are a debt collector. Is that a debt collector? We are acting on behalf of so-and-so bank. So you aren't actually the bank. No, sir. We are so-and-so calling on behalf of the bank. So you're a debt collector. Yes, sir. We are a debt collection agency. Okay, so why is it taking so long to confirm that? I don't know, sir. Okay, and what is this call regarding? Well, this is about, we first need to go through security. This is the funny bit. Honestly, funny. I've actually just got somebody sent me, because I deal with for other people, I help other people, and they've sent me something saying they have to get identity to prove who I am, so that I can tell them who the other people are. Like, you know, yeah, okay, I'm going to fill all your forms in, you goon. All right. So you're going to go through security. Okay. So, all right, what does that entail? Well, first, I have to advise you that our call is being recorded for security and training. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. I'm recording you too. Okay. We have to verify that you're the account holder before we can discuss anything. So there's a series of security questions for you to verify your identity. All right. And assuming that I proceed to entertain your verification process, what can you offer me? Sorry, what can you offer that will confirm to me that you are in fact who you say you are? The debt collector says, I don't know what you mean. So, well, you said you'd like to verify my identity. I want to identify you. Well, sir, I'm not sure what I can say. Shall I take it that you're not prepared to proceed? Oh, all right, with our security checks. No, not at all. I'm more than happy to take a quiz. right? Because it sounds like fun, but I want to make sure that you and verify who you are. Well, sir, you can call us back on the number on one of the letters. Right, yeah, this is absolutely crazy. I'm not going to go through the rest of it. It'd probably take too long. But that just shows, though, right? And like I say, I deal on for other people, and they've just sent me a thing, right? And I do it via a private trust. I don't do it with my name, right? I'm blah 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 private trust, and they're saying, well, fill in all this information and send it back. It's hilarious, you know. It is absolutely hilarious. So I'm just going to write back and just, you know, and what we do is like, you know, show me the proof of the actual debt, you know, and they never can because there is never any proof. So that's why it's so much fun when you're actually dealing with these debt collectors, you know. What a lot of people used to like run away and hide and get scared and everything. It's absolutely hilarious. It's loads of fun. You know what I mean? So the a lot of people won't answer the phone to them or anything like that. I think you should actually start to answer the phone and then just do exactly what he's saying there and verify their identity. All right. The top secret bankers manual. It's in the Telegram group. Okay, so our Telegram group. All right, same name I think as the Facebook group. All right. The manual's in there if you want to go. If you can't find it, okay. But yeah, and somebody else shared it up there, so download it. It is a fantastic read. So you do that and get all of the information and the templates from that, and then you get the information and the templates from that book there as well. You're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy debt collectors talking to you. You can have so much fun, right? It's just they are so stupid. Okay, so like when you've got somebody that's a third party interloper, right? They have absolutely no contract with you, right? They've got no chosen action. A chosen action is an equitable term. It means they have a right to actually take you to court. They haven't got a right to take you to court because they have no thing in action, no chose in action. You know, it's our Telegram, Catherine. It's our Telegram group. Have you got a link, Dinebot, to stick up for Catherine so she can see the Telegram group to go on to? You know, so what was he doing? Forgot what I was doing now. Yeah, so like that on the bank, you've got to remember is like, you know, what happens is this guy asked me just before, I want to stop paying my bounce back loan. How long will it take before they send it to debt collectors? It takes 3 months because they've got an insurance policy. The insurance policy doesn't kick in for 90 days. So they're going to wait 90 days. Then after the 90 days, after they've ignored all your letters, oh, have I got that book about contract law? I'm going to show you this book about contract law. What they do is they ignore you, okay? So what happens is when you do like the first notice and you write the notice to the bank saying prove that you've actually got that I have a debt, that I have lent money. They can't prove it, obviously, because you created the debt. So they ignore you. Then you send in a second one. I always like to send 3 because then 3, right, from the Bible, bloody bleedy blum, okay? Then their silence breaks a contract. Their silence is breached. You'll get this book as well, Contract Law. And in here, I should have had the page. I had it ticked off last night. If they don't answer the questions, if they're actually silent, okay, it breaks contract law. It breaches any contract. So they've actually broken the contract. All right. So by not answering the questions, by their silence. And they only want to stay silent for 3 months because then they'll actually get the full sum. That's the alleged loan, right? They'll get the full sum off the insurance agent and then they'll sell your data to a debt collection agency. Okay. All right. The bank. Okay. So what you're saying there, you've just just about to sell your house, buy another one as soon as possible. You know, don't have any money hanging around in the bank. This contract law, right? It just says that private law tutor. Private law tutor. That's all it says. Doesn't say a name. Okay, I got that one at the same time. I got these. And it's the same look. Where is it? Where you can see? Look, private law tutor. Okay, Amazon. Got them from Amazon. Private law tutor. Okay, so you know, and it's good. So I use them as reference all the time, flick through them all the time. I've read them. All right. Well, find them from somebody else then. Okay, but like, you know, that's where they're from. All right, that's where you can get that's who on them books, and it tells you. So that contract law, it's really good. So it's, and then when you tie it in with all the other things, you get the information and you can put it all together. It just makes such a strong case, and it makes it so much fun. So look, John there, he's saying, how can we stop DCA sending out agents to our home? It depends on what the agents, what you mean by agents. All right. So like, is it what's that for? Is it for a debt? If it's for a debt, like a credit card, you can bin them straight away. Right. There's no way in the world that you should let anybody near your private property. Right. Well, actually for any debt, like council tax or any of that nonsense. But if it is for any kind of credit card or bank loan debt, then you should have a notice. On mine, I make it nice and simple. It just says private by appointment only. All right. And it's got the number of the house is like, you know, bailiffs shouldn't be coming out for credit card debt, man. Right. You should have closed that down ages ago. Right. It's just got to be sending them, go and get one of these books and read them, or even go onto my website and get the stuff off of there. And it tells you exactly what to do. Okay, you know, you can just like shut them down completely. It says on there private by appointment only. So if anyone comes to the door, just like look at it, point and say, have you got an appointment? Haven't got an appointment. So right, well, go on, do one then. Ring up, make an appointment. Who are you going to ring? Well, you have to ring the private trust because everything's in a private trust and it's all under a private members association. So you have to go and ring them and make an appointment, and then we'll arrange it with you, and then just go back in. Okay. Right, so you don't deal with these people, and then you write the notices which you can get the templates off of my website. You can get the templates off of, a lot of it is like on the groups, right, the Telegram group and the Facebook group, right? You can get templates off of them. Go on to that Tom Shaft's book that's been shared in there, or it's on the Telegram group. There are so many, and the thing is, we're all telling the truth. Okay. Nearly dead. You're nearly dead, are you, little pipsqueak? What does that mean by nearly dead? Are you saying you're old? Yeah, bailiffs shouldn't be anywhere near you. You know, don't let them come to your house. Yeah, Dorian says it would be good if we actually, like, you know, took the system down and then started our own. But we are starting our own anyway. Okay, now, like, the thing is, when we've got our own system, we just have to tell them that we don't like their system. So that's why we write the notices. But I tell you, this guy here, when he's like doing, I'm not saying I'm going to try it. I'm not telling anyone else what to do. You do what you want, right? But okay, I tell you now, I've actually altered a couple of my notices to be using like similar words to what he's using, right? And like getting rid of these idiots, because, you know, and I do it for a lot of other people as well. And I do find when you send off these notices and it says, well, come on, show me where is the loss from the bank? Where was the money lent to me? And it makes them very, very scared and they don't want to talk to you, you know. What about gas and electric meters? What about them? What do you mean? What about gas and electric meters? What about them? What do you want to do with them? I don't understand the question or comprehend it. But yeah, so I think it's been really good to actually use the notices that I've took from them, combine them with mine, combine them with Tom Shaft's, and come up with something and send them off and just smashes them to pieces. It's quite funny. So George saying he's been bashed with self-doubt. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Absolutely more than welcome. So the thing is, the whole system around us is designed to make us full of fear, right? Anything. I don't watch TV. Never watched TV for years. I've got one sitting in the corner over there, and I watch YouTube. Information and channels and documentaries. Right, I have nothing like on the news or mainstream or any of that at all ever. Haven't even got an aerial, actually. Haven't got anything like that. But you know, you got to remember the whole thing is about them making us scared. So when we're scared and we're not doing, when we've got that fear vibration, it lowers the vibration of the planet. So that's why I do these, because I want to lift your vibration to lift the vibration of the planet. And it's the only way we can get the human consciousness or the consciousness of man and woman to lift and be putting it out there, you know, and then we can actually get rid of them. And then we're going to move into our own system anyway, where they're saying, like, yeah, their system's there, but we don't use it because we use our system. We use system of man and woman. Okay. Now, I'm definitely not on a public forum like this going to tell anybody what to do, James, or give any kind of like advice like that. I don't give advice anyway. What I do is I tell you exactly how I work and what I do and what's happened. Okay. So what I would do before you do anything though, James, right, is this is what I see all the time, and I get phone calls and I get messages all the time. Help me, I'm in trouble. Help me, the bailiff's done this. Help me, the bank's done that. Get yourself right in, okay, a private trust. Create the private trust. Put yourself in the private. If you're doing commerce, then get into a PMA. Once you've got yourself secured, once you've got your armor on, okay, and then not only do that, you do like a power of attorney with the Office of the Public Guardian for your property. You do it for your health and wellness, all right, and then you change the forms at the land registry. You put your armor on, James, and then you go and fight. Right? Don't go and do anything or change anything or start fighting anyone with when you haven't got your armor on, okay? Because we need the armor on first. And once you've got, like I say, this is why I do like these types of like calls, because I want to lift up the vibration and put it out. We've got nothing to fear apart from fear itself, and get rid of the fear, and you've got nothing to worry about. So what we need to do is we need to like educate ourselves and then protect ourselves. So educate ourselves, get onto my channels, watch the YouTube channels, watch the videos, then get the books, all right? Get wherever you get it from. If it's like, who cares where you get it from? I get a lot of mine, the law books I get from secondhand shops, online secondhand bookshops. So you learn about equity and trusts, learn about contract law, all right? Then go and learn about the debt. Okay, and then you can also go and get Tom Shaft's, which is free, and you can learn it all and get it put together. Then knowing that we are man and woman, and that we are alive, and we're not sovereign. We're not sovereign. We're not living this. We are just man and woman under the Creator, and we connect and we live. And you know, and make sure that you keep yourself straight on the narrow path. So yeah, okay. Right, so okay, there's nothing wrong with having a beer, right? It's like a Friday night, so I'm having my Friday night out with my mates. Right, here we go, having my Friday night with my mates, right? But I like that dog chewed my hand up and just it knocked everything out of sync. So I was actually away from the gym for 2 months. I was away from the gym, But like this week, I was straight back into it. So I was there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, went down the gym, good workout, getting in there, still doing my meditation. Okay. So got down every single morning. I'm out with the dogs, walking through the countryside, getting into nature, right? Doing the meditation when I'm in the nature with walking the dogs. Right. I was out on the bike. I went like all the way. Well, you don't know how far it is, but I went all the way down to the harbour and back again, like, so, and it's getting back into it, getting your actual physical body right, getting your mental body right, learning all of this, and then lifting up the vibration. Okay. If you lift up your vibration, you're lifting up my vibration, we're lifting up everyone's vibration, and it's lifting it up there, right? And it's lifting everyone's up. Then we can change the planet, right? Then we can change the world. It's not the world, though, is it? It's the planet, all right? I go out there, I take my spirit level out, and I measure the sea, right? And all I can see is flatness. All right. I will one day like go over like a presentation and actually show the presentation that I do I've got different presentations, mine, for different things, but one of them is just like showing you why you have to correct your status and what it come from. Okay. And like, the thing is like what was how crazy it is and what they've done, and that's the thing. So I will show it, but I don't want to show the slides, tonight. Okay. All right. But we're going to have to shoot off. Sorry. Very soon. We're going to have to shoot off. Got an itchy thumb. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So, but I'm telling you now, right? Like what we should do is have some kind of like, well, we've got them already. You've got, if you don't use Facebook, then try and go on the Telegram. I don't know if you get any groups, if anyone's got any other ideas, because we need to start putting a lot more of our success stories up there. I was just working out there. I must have got rid, not for me, it was for other people. Okay. Nearly, right? It's got to be, I think it might even just be over. I've got rid of nearly £1 million worth of debt for people in a year. All right. And now we got people like this coming out writing a book saying how they do it. I've been doing it for a long time. So, and I've done it for other people. And the only time that anything ever happens, right, is when they won't listen and they go and do things on their own way. Shouldn't do that. All right. Dimeball, put up a link or however it is you get on the Telegram channel, because I'm not 100% sure. I haven't got my phone with me. I don't know how to do it. Dimeball is the one to ask for that. He'll do it for you because he helps with that channel. But yeah. More than welcome. Gary and Nicola, more than welcome. All right. So, yeah, we've got to heal the world, and it's the only way we're going to do it. It's not called the world because it doesn't whirl around, right? It's called a plane or the planet, the planet. Okay. But that's the way you do it. You've got to make sure that you have fun with this. Once we actually know whether you can do all this, okay, and you lift up the vibration. There's Bob seeing it again, lifting up the vibration. You are going to bring it into a new earth, and then it's going to be a new reality. We can't bring in the new reality by being miserable and like them. All right. We can't bring in the new reality, right? Some people, these people saying the Saurus is coming. It is only but in here, right? Bring it up with ourselves. Bring up your vibration. Spread your vibration to everyone else. Learn these things. Live in harmony and live in love, right? And I know it might sound weird. I know you probably like, I don't look like that type of guy, but I am, right? So like I lifted up the vibration. I lifted up my own vibration. I'm living in a love vibration, right? And I'm getting out in nature every single day. And I've got my dogs that ground me, that like, even when they try and kill me, all right, that just like keep it so like completely on earth. Okay. And then, it gives you the power and the strength to join with other people like this. Now, all of this vibration is spreading out. All this vibration now is spreading out to others. Your vibration is spreading out to others when it's on a positive note. Okay. And then it spreads out to all man and woman. And then we can lift up the vibration. And what will happen, and I'm not meaning anything wrong, if you've been doing things, all right, if you've been doing things and your vibration is dropping, you're not going to be on the plane for much longer anyway. Okay, so what will happen is their negativity will drop off, and then there'll be more of us because we didn't do that. right? So we're actually lifting up the vibration. The ones that have been doing this and dropping the vibration are disappearing, so which means that our vibration is getting stronger and stronger and stronger and lifting up more and more and more of man and woman. All right. So they took their choice, they've made their choice, they've done this, and they're going to be gone. So we are left there to actually bring up everything else. So it's all good. It's all good. So whatever Ricky, Shicky, Vishy, Fishy, Wishy is doing, it'll not matter. We have to educate ourselves on it. Okay. We have to educate ourselves. Fair enough. Okay. That is totally so. But we've got to make sure that we're not feared or worried or troubled by it. All right. And when you're getting these letters, learn these things. All right. Learn these things. And it can actually be, and I have, like, it actually makes me angry sometimes when I read their stupidity, like from these debt companies. But then I just get on board with it again, clear my head, get on with it. And it's funny. And it is actually quite good fun to deal with them. And then you get on there and you're dealing with the councils. It's good fun. And they're saying, oh, you need to pay your council tax. You're going to prison. What, man? Get out of it. No problem. You know, and yeah, of course, you know, and there's a lot of people saying things now, just so you know. All right. I was in the Royal Navy. You probably know that. And I traveled on the first, was the Iran-Iraq War. Right, so it was the first Gulf War, they called it. So I went from the Mediterranean, right, to the Red Sea. So through the Suez Canal, 400 kilometers in this canal. Okay, so you go through there and that canal. The distance, the level of the sea. So if anyone's been, like in England, there's canals everywhere, and you go through canals. And you go up a lock and down a lock and up a lock and down a lock, right? Went through the Suez Canal, 400 kilometers from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. Whoosh, massive. All right, what was the difference? Where was the locks? There's none, right? So the height of the sea in the Red Sea is exactly identical, 400 kilometers to the Mediterranean Sea. All right, so shouldn't it be like that? So wouldn't it be different, right? But it isn't, because we're obviously talking through the backside and lying to us all the time. Just I showed a picture when I was down in Bolton the other day of, like, what do you call him? Nixon. He's on the phone like that, talking to them on the moon, right? I went in my back garden and lost my signal the other day, and I couldn't speak to Janine. You know, it's nuts. Yeah, but these things that they do, they just play these games. But then it's, you know, now we can actually spread the word, right? And then lift up the vibration for everyone. Okay, well, I tell you what, I'm going to have to shoot off anyway. So I'm going to go and get another one. I think I actually might need a wee as well. So look, take care. All right. We're going into the strong end of strong 5 days that we've had. All right. So, well, John Williams is just asking about the 1099 process. So you're asking now when we're finishing. However, we're already doing this, right? So but we will bring the news, okay, of the 1099. All right. So we will bring the news about it, but we just have to see what happens. We're waiting on results. All right. Take care, everyone. So have a good Saturday. It is the day of Saturn. All right. So we're going into this, like, fantastic Saturn day tomorrow. So, and then on there, then we have the day of the sun after that. All right. So let's live in there. We don't go in for weekends and we don't go in for weekdays, because everything has to be strong and the vibration has to be strong. The vibration has to be high. All right. So look after each other. Look after yourselves. Yeah. Strong end. There's no such thing as weekends, Steinball. All right. Take care, everyone. All right. Have a great time. Look after yourselves. Get out in nature. Lift up the vibration. Pass on the love. Pass on the vibration. Okay. All right. Cool. Blood moon soon, is it, as well? That's a good time to actually do some investments as well. It is. So start getting that gold and silver, maybe a bit of crypto. It's always good in a blood moon to do stuff like that. All right. Take care. All right. Honestly, Have a great. This is Freya anyway, isn't it? The day is of Freya. It's the day of love and prosperity. All right, you take care. I'm gonna have to. I've spent 10 minutes saying goodbye. All right, you take care. Boom. All right, see you in a bit.